Hi everybody, this is Miss Madeline at the Grout School Garden. Today we are learning about birds. We'll learn how birds help the garden, we'll flap our wings like a bird, and we get to sprinkle some bird seed out to help our feathered friends. These are some of the questions we'll be thinking about today. The first one is, what do you know about birds? Do you ever go bird watching with your family? Do you see birds out your window at home? Do you know any birds who live here in Portland? Here are some local birds you may have seen around town. Today I've already seen a robin, a scrub jay, a crow, and an Anna's hummingbird. Before we get started on our lesson, let's learn the sign in American Sign Language for bird. You take your pointer finger and your thumb and form a beak right next to your mouth and open it and close it, just like a bird's beak. Bird. What do birds eat? A bird's beak can actually tell us a lot about what the birds eat. Some beaks are shaped for eating seeds, nuts, berries. Other beaks are shaped for drinking nectar out of flowers. Still other beaks are made for hunting and eating other animals. Birds' eyes are even different depending on what they eat. When a bird has eyes on the sides of its head, it helps them see danger before it approaches so they can hide. When a bird has eyes on the front of their heads, it helps them see well enough to hunt. You can remember because it rhymes. Eyes on the side helps me hide. Eyes on the front helps me hunt. The differences in birds' bodies are called adaptations. These are things about the birds that help them survive by making them really good at eating a certain thing. Birds are actually really helpful to have around a garden. How do you think a bird would help our garden? Birds help by spreading seeds. They can help pollinate flowers. Birds help control pests by eating rodents and bugs. Some birds, like chickens, can provide food for us. And they bring us a lot of beauty and joy. One of the most unique things about birds is that they can fly. Not all birds are good flyers. Penguins and ostriches, for example, don't really fly. But most birds can fly, although not all of them fly the same way. Some birds flap their wings really quickly, some soar with slower flaps. The hummingbird has a very unique way of flapping. It moves its wings in a figure-8 motion like this, really, really fast. Why don't you practice flapping your wings like a hummingbird in a figure-8 motion? Now that we've practiced flapping like a hummingbird, try different kinds of flaps. Maybe a little wing flap, maybe a big flap, maybe a soar. Now we are going to try to see how many times we can flap our wings in 10 seconds. Different birds flap their wings at different rates. So let's see what bird we match up with when we try to flap our own wings. Are you ready to flap with me? Choose whichever type of flap you want to do and count how many flaps you can do in 10 seconds. Don't forget to count. Are you ready? Ready, set, go! 10 seconds. Okay, I counted about 35 flaps that I just did. I wonder what kind of bird can flap as fast as me. I flapped my wings about as fast as a pigeon. Not bad. Flapping your bird wings is a great way to stay warm when you're outside on a chilly day. For our next activity, you should be getting some supplies from your teacher, like this bird guide and some bird seed. We know birds are helpful to us in the garden, but how can we help birds, especially during winter? We can definitely help them by putting out bird seed. This is food that birds really like to eat. When we feed birds food like bread, that can actually make them kind of sick. So we can help the birds out by being kind to them, listening to them, watching them, and giving them some food. I'm going to try leaving some birdseed out here in the garden and see who shows up to snack. You can put your birdseed out in your yard or on the sidewalk, maybe somewhere outside of a window. You can keep an eye on what birds are coming to eat your birdseed, but wherever you put it, know that you'll be helping the birds this winter. I'm guessing you might see some sparrows visiting your birdseed. You might even see a robin or a nuthatch. So many different bird friends to admire. I'm going to sprinkle some birdseed on top of some of these rocks here in the garden. This is a good place to leave birdseed so that it won't just disappear into the soil, but it will stay here on the rock so bird can come and snack on it. I'm also going to take a walk through the park to sprinkle some birdseed over there too. And while I'm there, I'll be listening and watching to find out what birds are living over there in the park. Parks are great places to listen for and look for birds. You can hear a lot more birds calling if you use deer ears. To make a deer ear, all you have to do is cup your hand behind your ear to make your ear as big as a deer's. Try it out and see how much more you can hear with deer ears. Ooh, I just heard a couple of birds already. I hear some scrub jays. I found a nice picnic table where I'm going to leave some more bird seed out for the birds who live here in the park. If you have a pair of binoculars, those are really helpful to see birds that are far away, to figure out what they are. But if you don't have them, that's totally okay. All you need to look for birds are your eyeballs, your ears, and a little bit of patience. What I thought were scrub jays up there, I'm now seeing are Steller's jays. Thanks for learning about birds with me today, friends. Winter is a great time to see overwintering birds. Those are birds who don't migrate. They live here in Portland all year round. I hope you have fun feeding the birds, and let me know what kind of birds you are seeing around town. See you next time.